guys, we are here to review StarFEET Academy Episode 4. And in this one, it's called Vox Excelso. And this week, the series decides to slow things down, take a more serious tone, and have a Klingon episode with on a debate stage and even somewhat of a battle at the end. However, looking up online here, the news is grim for StarFEET Academy.
Grimdank?
Grimdank. It's Star Trek's controversial new series hits a major streaming setback after a divisive response.
You don't say.
Yes.
Huh.
Starfleet Academy has not only fallen out of the top 10 from the U.S. That was the recent news in 3 and 2. But not only has it fallen out of the top 10 in the United States, but it also has fallen out in 8 other countries: Austria, Canada, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom.
I thought you were going to do that Animaniacs.
United States,
everything.
Panama, Mexico, Canada.
Okay, but I'll put up the streaming originals television here. The numbers, I think this is from Nelson. You got Landman is crushing it.
Yeah, that's all they got.
Shit. 1.8
Still
billion
about?
minutes watched. Why do people? Oh, because it's made by the same people that did Yellowstone, and so okay, got it.
Yeah.
At Landman, His and Hers, The Traders, Ponies, The Pit. I think that's HBO Max. Agatha Christie's Seven Dials. Then Stranger Things at number 9. Fallout at number 10. And StarFEET Academy is nowhere to be seen. So,
7 Dials.
if Kurtzman's Star Trek New Trek is on the line here, things are not looking good for his contract to be extended or whatnot. Now, I think the rumors are that maybe this has already gotten a second season,
Oh my
perhaps already filmed, but I'm a little confused on that. I'll have to do more research on that. But if that's the case, they're not able to make adjustments, right? Because they have one vision, which is, I guess, what we got for StarFEET Academy, putting feet in my face, and this is the vision that they're going with. However, in this particular episode, we do explore something a bit different. The students and our characters go into their first space flight. I don't know why they don't count the first time were in battle
going
against
to the
Giovanni.
Academy. That's why.
Yeah, I know. It's
They
stupid.
were ambushed.
But they're on their first space flight, and they deal with Klingon refugees. Meanwhile, we explore Jaden's. I fucking hate that Klingon
This is
name.
Jaden's episode.
Jaden.
Yeah, it's Jaden.
Jaden's Klingon episode.
It's
His
Jaden.
backstory.
All right, that's what it is.
Jaden.
No,
No, you want Jaden? Okay, got it.
my name is Joe. Oh,
But honestly, in terms of what we got last week, which was one of the worst Star Trek episodes of all time, it would definitely be on a list of top 10 worst episodes. This one is better, but I think it's too little too late. And your mileage in it is going to vary. I said, why should I hate this Klingon? Why should I hate the fact that, because everybody, there's certain segment of audience is hating on him because he's a pacifist Klingon. That makes no sense. That's impossible. It can never happen. But if we're in the 32nd century and we're exploring new ideas, there have already been Klingon scientists and poets and outcasts and things like that. So I'm up for an outcast story, and I'm okay with a pacifist Klingon who uses who is a warrior in different ways. If you had an entire culture rushing into battle, it wouldn't work. We've seen Klingon chefs. We've seen Klingon scientists. We've seen this before. But he just doesn't want to engage in direct battle. And so as long as you can make it make sense, he can be logistics because, goddamn, the Klingons have terrible logistics. That's why their empire keeps falling apart. And frankly, that's not the part that bothers me. The part that bothers me is other character traits where I was turned off by him in subsequent episodes. But I think giving him a little bit of depth here works a little bit for me. So it was all right. And I like the debate. That feels Star Trek to me. I like the resolution for the Klingon Empire here. that feel Star Trek to me. I just hate that Star Trek is... I don't know why they are so shitty to the Klingons. Like, I fucking hate this idea that the Klingon Empire is in shambles. They are literally just refugees looking for planets. They're apparently, I guess what they say is after the burn, all the Klingon planets had dilithium outposts. And every single one of their ships, well, there's a few ships you see at the end. Those ships must have been decommissioned or offline because they're older designs. They were offline. But all the other ships, everything blew up, including every single one of the Empire's planets. And it's like, I could just see, no, you're just writing that so it feels more dramatic so you can have these moments in this particular episode. It's like, I don't know if the Klingon Empire is that incompetent. Yes, there's a lot of infighting, and yes, they do have incompetency, but I hate the way they treat the Klingons here. But at least they're not the Discovery Klingons where they fucking change their designs. I like the more traditional-looking Klingons. They do have annoyingly straight teeth. I would still give them the crooked and sharp teeth. It looks so weird when they smile and laugh. They just look like really tough and rough Rastafarians than they do Klingons to me. But overall, I felt the story was all right, but too little too late. What did you guys think of Vox and Excelso, the Klingon episode?
As I stated before, this is a fucking 1. From here on out, this is a 1. I honestly don't care about this Jaden character. I don't like his... I don't like it. I don't like Caleb. They're like, oh, well, we're brothers. Like, you're not my brother at the end. Oh, okay, you're my brother. It's so stupid. It's trying to be sappy. Like, he's just like, after the debate, his fear is public speaking the first time, and has a panic attack.
Yeah.
And this whole thing.
I think that's fine. If we're searching in a show about Starfleet
but
Academy,
this is not what you
stay
want in
within the
Starfleet.
premise of Starfleet Academy. I think the exploration of being scared of public speaking is fine. Swallowing comm badges and whipping out your feet and sticking it in people's faces, that's what bothers me about Star Trek. That idea is fine, so I like it.
Yeah, so you get that sad, mopey scene. He's looking up the window, and it's raining. He's like,
it's raining in space, Joe.
hey,
it wasn't raining.
I didn't write it. He's just there.
It wasn't raining. Joe's
flashbacks
like, it would
about
be
his
sadder
brother.
if it rained. I'm like, Joe, we're in space.
Give flashbacks. He's like, oh, my father
I think Joe's
hated
just fucking
me.
pissed.
My father hated
Come on,
me
there's no way
because
this
I didn't
episode
do
is
this.
as bad as the last one.
They're all bad. They're all bad. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I would not watch any of these episodes. You tell me you would watch this episode again.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's all right within the Star Trek universe. If I was, I wouldn't seek out watching this one again.
Well,
but
that's
so
what-
far, this is one of the better
But you
episodes
just, like-
in the 4 episodes.
Yeah, but like, I'm saying, like, you wouldn't really search it out. It's not your thing, so why watch it again? For me, you're a Trekkie fan. Like,
Yes,
I'm not,
yeah,
I
that's the
don't like
difference.
it. Like, yeah,
That's the
this
difference.
is not for me.
They pulled on my heartstrings. You heard me towards the end. I was like, oh, I
The
love this
music,
music,
yes,
and I love
and I
this
knew
and
it.
that. That's
Yes.
something better.
Yeah,
they're pulling
and
from
that
something
is
better.
why. They're like,
Right.
oh, this is just nostalgia. It's like, oh, that's a
But
cool
it's not
reference.
just nostalgia, Joe. They are exploring ideas that I think that Starfleet Academy, like, let's say we got a TNG Starfleet Academy, and they were exploring ideas in there. Their ideas, it's just whether they're executed
Yeah,
well.
I agree.
don't think they're executed well,
I was about,
but
yeah.
I don't think they're executed at a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. It's like it should have been executed well, as opposed to like him and Caleb like coming into blows just for drama's sake.
Yeah.
And then the Cardigan boy, whatever, is like, oh yeah,
The blue
I
guy.
bet said this. Like, oh, you gotta do this, and they have
do.
this little bond.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah,
Me and
so
Joe are like,
a lot of
whoa,
it
the
is
Klingons
like,
speak
oh, shit.
Spanish?
Yeah, like this.
APKP Urpecha, APKP Urpecha, APKP Urpecha.
This whole thing is like a lot of it was 90% was all that stuff that I didn't like. I agree with you, that could have been better, but like that was just 10% of what they kind of were kind of focused on.
Yeah.
But if that episode would have been less of the high school bullshit,
Yeah.
it would have been better. Yeah, I agree. But so far, this is what we're getting. I don't want it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in between. This show is mostly young adult team drama, and I hate it. I hate Jaden. I hate.
It's Jadon.
Yeah,
I am Joe.
Yeah, Joe. All of the characters in the force drama and like the everything about the teen drama thing, I fucking despise.
Yeah.
It is not good, and for me, that's the majority of it. Now, I do agree that there's whiffs of Star Trek here, but there's whiffs of a lot more other stuff here. So it's like it's wrapped up, and it's like just because like one aspect of this does feel more like Star Trek than anything else I've seen in this. Because I do like the conflict that we got at the end with the Klingons. I do like the resolution. All of that stuff.
We're gonna take flack for it, but I don't care. I have to stand up for what I say, and this is all right.
I mean, I don't. I'm sure some of you people watching, I love that you're watching. But one thing I will promise you is I don't give a fuck what you think about what I think, and I'm always going to tell you the truth. It's so much easier when I get to be honest. So I do like the thing that happened at the very end of the show, and I think that it could have been a TNG episode. Honestly, parts of it could have been a TNG episode.
Parts of it felt TNG.
But the problem is, it would have been like, shut up, Wesley, the entire fucking time.
Shut up, Wesley.
Because it's like all of the young people make this show horrible.
Yes.
And so it's like, I like the 10,000 feet view where like, oh, okay, we have to figure out how to trick these refugees into thinking it's not charity. That is Trek to me.
That was cool.
But the problem is most of it is shit.
Yeah.
And so I do kind of agree.
The dialogue there just doesn't live up to it. In fact, I think Picardo, the hologram gets the quote wrong in the universe. I looked it up.
I read someone on Reddit was very mad. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I didn't.
Oh, you guys can't even read your own fucking lore.
So it's like, you said as far as Star Trek Academy goes, I guess you did the best. This is the best episode of Star Trek Academy. As far as Star Trek goes, this is an unwatchable television show and is not welcome in my home.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell everyone I know not to watch it, including you fine people. And it's just, I don't think this show is good. And if this could be the best episode that we get because it feels the most like Star Trek, but it's like
might be
this much Star
Trek.
But
we are literally in the middle of a shit sandwich.
It's the cherry on top of a poop sundae.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, the cherry was good.
The composition is very bad.
Yeah, the mix is poor. Yeah. And so it's like, I prefer my stuff without poop in it. So.
No, it's right. That's what I'm saying. But Joe, come on. It's like, I know you want to hold firm to the 1 out of 10. The rest.
He's
of
a
the
man
thing.
of conviction.
But I need. Well, okay. How about we expand?
The point goes to that. That's it.
Let's expand out your 1 out of 10 rating.
What else did you like?
Rank. Well, what I'm saying, Joe, the point I'm trying to make is we have StarFEET Academy, which was last episode, and this episode. You're saying they're about the same. Which one's better?
They're both
now we're gonna break out the 1 out of 10s, and you can go 1 out of 10 on 1 out of 10.
Well, so
this one is a little better than the last.
But we
one.
round down to 1.
Okay, so it's a little better than the last one.
Sure.
Right?
I think.
All right, that's the only thing I'm saying. That's
still
what
a
I'm
1,
saying.
but it's 1.1.
Yeah, 1.1.
Because again, it gets a point because of the that what they were trying to figure out with the Klingon stuff.
Yeah.
Point. Everything else sucked.
Yeah, I look at it in a vacuum of StarFleet Academy. What would they try to accomplish if the show was better? The themes are there, the ideas were there in this particular episode. They're not doing stupid fucking things. I think what really helped is the dumbassery. And the kids that usually facilitate the dumbassery were kept to a minimum. For example, the hologram chick. She really had nothing to do this episode. She spoke one line which annoyed the fuck out of me again. And so all of those types of characters were minimized here.
She's getting her own episode. It's coming.
Oh, my God. That might be the 0 out of 10. We might hit -1 levels here. Well, there's still hope for that because that whole – I'm going to go on this massive rant. I've been thinking about it, how the hologram character breaks everything. It breaks Star Trek lore. The writers are broken. Their heads are broken. It breaks the episode. It breaks the storytelling. They've already fucked up so many times with her, but I'm sure there will be an episode with her.
Did she lose the debate against her opponent?
No, she won the debate. But it was so poorly filmed that I was like, which one? Yeah,
when you're allowed to interrupt them mid-sentence.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is
I noticed
this?
that. Like, one person was not finished speaking their fucking opening, and then somebody else just speaks, and the doctor's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to
And he's the one judging.
Because he doesn't want to be there either.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't
Who's actually supposed to do that? But all right. Anyways, so I thought that the episode in general was better. I don't like the fact that the Klingons are a fucking ruined empire and they're no longer a galactic power. They're on the edge of extinction, and there's just some refugees. All the houses are on these ships that are flying through space, and they need to find a new home. And Starfleet is the one that's trying to help them. The Federation, they don't want fucking help. That's not the Klingon way. And they basically, through Jaden, find a compromise where they do a mock battle in which they fight the Federation and they claim the planet as spoils of war. Klingons would not do this, but okay, when they're that desperate, I can buy that, and we can buy some of that. But
you're saying the Klingons would have a problem with a staged fight in order to accept charity?
Yeah,
I think true Klingon would be fucking pissed.
Yeah, no, but they're desperate.
They're like,
at
oh,
this
we're
point.
killing. You staged this, you're dead.
Zero
Right.
casualties. Like,
Yeah, this
shit
is
happens.
Someone's got to die.
Somebody
Klingons
blows
of the
up.
30
Oh
seconds.
shit! She's like, holy shit!
Wait! Cut the phasers! What the fuck are you doing? I thought we were agreed. That would have been fun.
Photon,
well,
photon torpedoes and
200
everybody.
students have died. It's like,
No, they didn't bring any students
would've
but
been
Jason.
awesome.
I know.
That would have been awesome.
It's called
all right.
Starfleet. They
I can
need
think
it.
of a couple students that would be fine if they.
Shit. But anyways,
Yeah, that's basically what they did. They planned the whole thing. It's like, okay, well, they're just like, oh, we surrender. It's like, all right, we'll claim this. And then he talks to Jay Dunn. He's like, hey, here is your bow. You are a warrior. And your parents are alive. Nice little rap at the end. It's like a nice little bow.
yeah, they get a new planet to live on, and he finally gets to eat the warrior stew, and it's spicy. And honestly, I liked it. It made me like Jay Den a little bit more and his, pacifism. It's fine if there's a few Klingons. I don't want every single Klingon to suddenly become a pacifist. That's not the message here. That's not the point. It's just saying that there might be a few that want to choose a different way, and at this point in the galaxy, fine, whatever. It may not be my preference, but I don't think that it doesn't deserve to exist within Klingon culture. No, I don't agree with that.
That's too
But
bad.
I thought it was a good message, a good setup, a good problem, and an interesting resolution. Unfortunately, it's done within modern speak. It's done within annoying characters. It's done at a writing level that's poorer, that are mimicking what we've seen, the heights that we've seen in the past, and they managed to get across the finish line good enough. And if I'm grading somewhat on a curve, now granted, I'm going to grade on a curve here because we already know this fucking series is bad, but in what it's trying to accomplish is Starfleet, the message there, I'm going to go with a 4 out of 10. I think, it's an average episode, but it gets some things, wrong, and I think it could have hit harder. So I'm going to go with a 4 out of 10. I might be considered a 5 out of 10. I do, man, they were doing the member berries at the end. Let me get your guys' rating. What would you? We already got Joe's rating, which was a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, and then I forget that lady's name, talking to Jay Dunn. She's like, I don't want to, how do you say, F it up?
Oh, yeah, the Jem'Hadar gives him a rousing speech. I liked it. She's one of the characters that I don't hate, and so when she gives him a good message and it rouses him to return to the debate because they almost came to blows with Caleb, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, when she's not overacting, I think it works way better because you already know that she's a badass and all those other things. But when she's trying to every word I need to sound like it's too much.
Yeah,
and
relax.
It's just like it's bad direction or character design or whoever.
She
made the
makes
decision.
a point. Oh, let me read it off here. That her father missed on purpose. So Jaden has a brother. He's the traditional Klingon warrior, but he kind of understands his brother. I was thinking of Predator Badlands because that's essentially what it is. You've got a badass brother who protects his little brother who doesn't necessarily, he's the run of the litter, basically. He doesn't do the same things. He goes to a trader post and he picks up Starfleet tech. He hears that there's, recruitment, and he gives it to him. And he says, brother, your destiny is in the stars. I understand you, and I don't hate you for the way that you want to live as a pacifist. And but eventually his brother, when he makes more deals with this trader, gets killed off screen or gets stabbed off screen, and he was getting more tech for his brother, so his parents are pissed, and they're thinking Jaden's responsible and stuff, and he's the disappointing son. Though they do try to embrace him and take him on his first hunt to get his first kill so that he can be an honorable Klingon, he doesn't want to do it. And so his father, fires at this eagle and misses and screams. And they fucking leave his ass on the planet. They leave his ass behind. That's traumatic. And they disown him. But later on, this Jem'Hadar lady, I don't remember her character's name.
Yeah.
She says, perhaps your father missed on purpose.
That's kind of shit that he says all the time when we play games. So
I missed on
purpose to make you feel good.
Recontextualized what it was.
Yes.
Straight.
It may or may not. It may be that the father's like, no, fuck you.
I don't believe her. I don't believe you.
And he was so angry he just missed and he left his son there. Or she could be right, and I like that maybe there's a little ambiguity, so that kind of ups the points for me. I'm going with a 5 out of 10, and says, look, he missed on purpose because he knows that this is your path, and so he's letting you do your path. And then he goes back on the debate stage, and he fights with words, not weapons. And I say, hey, that's Star Trek. All right. 5 out of 10. What about you, Alex?
I think the shell, this is the best of a rotten bunch, and so the shell of the show is bad. I don't like almost any of these characters. I don't like how they speak to each other. The modern teen drama is something that just does not work for me, and I'm glad that some people enjoy it. It's just I don't think it works. And so while I do think that there are some really nice things that are reminiscent of the Trek that I used to love from way back in the day at the end, the majority of the episode isn't great. And so I wish that this idea. And you know what? There's so much Trek that this idea probably has been done before, and I just didn't remember or haven't seen it. So it's this is a good concept that I just wish had been in better hands with more mature characters.
Yeah.
I want a show where it's about adults, and the focus is adults teaching the children in adult situations, not the kids being in kid situations, slowly acclimating to adult life. I wanted to switch up, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just not interested in these characters. I actively do not like them. I do not like when they talk or when they're on the screen. And so even though I like the end, I still have to go with a 4. And I think this is probably the peak that this is going to get to, because I don't think that Paul Giamatti is going to make me love Trek, because he's going to be introduced in a way where he's fist fighting people and beating them all up and doing all
that
this
was my
stuff.
favorite episode, the first episode.
Yeah, but it's
it was just so stupid.
It's bombastic is what it is, and so you can have fun with it, but then you sit on and you're like, oh wait a minute, I don't know if that kind of fits. But congrats, you did it. This I think is the best that they're gonna do.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The execution was fucking done terribly. The conflict was very interesting to me, but I'm a 60-year-old man. I don't care about high school drama.
You're a 60-year-old man,
Yeah.
Joe?
I don't want to hear about
know that, Joe.
teen
The 60-year-old man.
This is oh, you're not my brother.
What's
they
the
get into a
goddamn
fight.
captain's name? God.
Exactly. Nobody
Aki,
cares.
nothing something Aki. The chancellor lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time there was a huge opportunity here for some StarFEET to happen, because apparently she has had a relationship with the leader of the Klingons, and they were all like, hey, we can properly acclimate ourselves. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised she didn't whip her feet out and start sticking it in his fucking face and in his mouth and lay on the couch like she's a cat in heat and lift her leg up, and for this old Klingon to be like, and I was like, oh, at least they spared us from that, because she's minimized, she's in the background, and she doesn't act like a crazy person here. She actually takes the situation very seriously. She's almost a completely different fucking character. At no point does she sit in her chair funny and act stupid and run around bare feet. She actually does a star date where she takes it serious. She's looking at the beauty of the stars, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little Star Trek. And once they realize that the Klingons are fucking looking for a new home planet, and then they take the situation serious, and that's the best we can say for it.
Yeah, but I think they did a disservice to her character when she has to be explained to by a child. She's 400 years old, and she's very familiar with the Klingon post-burn and pre-burn.
Yeah.
And this was an opportunity for her and the other adults into the room to like have a solution other than just like giving up, and then based on what a kid happened to say in the debate, which he would not be welcome back on stage.
What did you say again, Alex? What did you say
Say
again?
that one more time.
Say it again.
And it's like
Eureka.
It's like I don't want a teen show where all of the adults are idiots except for in the episode where the adults need to, like. So like I don't like this captain.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that we covered that pretty well. I like the idea that we can combine the breakdown with the thing since we're already in spoilers territory.
Nobody's
it
watching
has
this.
reduced
They're watching this.
Right. This is how you watch it.
Don't watch the show.
So we're going to go into the breakdown, but I think in the future we're going to try to combine the breakdown a little more with the show like we're doing for Fallout. So I'll go through the breakdown a little bit faster since we covered most of it here. But join us in the breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see. We're on this fucking journey together, and I'm sure that we're going to get the hologram episode. Might we be spared with no hologram episode? That would be fucking great. But if you want to see me go rage and do some angry rants, which is probably why you're here, wait for that episode. But I must admit, this is one of the better episodes so far. It's not saying that it's good Star Trek. It's got some semblance of trying to reach for that. All right, so here's the breakdown. So like I said, it opens with her doing the star date in all of the stars. She makes a mistake. It says their first space flight. They've been in a space flight before. They went from the ship to San Francisco, and in fact they were in a space battle. So whatever. I guess they don't count it. But essentially they do a debate competition. The doctor says, we're going to engage in a debate. I'm like, okay, this could be interesting because I fucking love debates. I think that's why I was easier on the episode. I like that. He says chicken shit, and I don't know what's with the cursing in this show.
They addressed it on the nose. Like one of the students is like, "Why are you talking like that?"
Oh yeah, they did.
And then the writers are like, "We're talking like this because
I'm old.
I'm old.
That
I
was
do
his
whatever
excuse?
the fuck I want."
What was his excuse?
Because he's
Yeah,
old,
I'm-
and he wants to.
I want to talk the way that I want to talk.
Yes.
And then the stupidity. This is the stuff I'm glad this episode stayed away from, or it had no time to cover. Because when he's saying that, he's talking to a guy with glasses in the 32nd century. His my eyes are fucked up, and I would love to be able to never have to wear glasses.
They're fashion glasses, though.
Is that the excuse? Are
It
we going
has
to get
to
an
be.
episode for this guy that this is a fashion sense? Because they would have corrective surgery at this point, but whatever. This is the kind of stuff that pulls me out of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it turns out Caleb is the best debater. You could say he's a master debater. Didn't we do that joke already in Picard? I don't remember, but
yeah, it wasn't fun. Yeah.
it's not funny here. In the prison, I guess he learned these skills in prison, debating other killers and
Yeah, he had to learn the law.
and regulations. He memorized all of Starfleet's regulations, I guess, for argument's sake. But Jaden has a problem with public speaking. He gets really sweaty when he's like, "Fuck, we're gonna
His palms
debate,"
get sweaty.
and
Because
that
of
makes
his long
sense. I think a
spaghetti.
lot of people can relate to that. I think a lot of young adults can relate to that. So that makes perfect sense in a show like this. They depicted it fine.
Yeah, I hate it.
What? Why?
Despite because I think that there's plenty of at this point we get into the point in the show where he realizes that his parents are probably dead and his species are going extinct because they don't want to listen. There's plenty of conflict. We didn't need any of the
need
teen.
that.
That's high school class. I'm afraid of public speaking. Like, he can have a disagreement with someone, and he's really close friends.
StarFleet Academy. We're dealing with young adults here, so in my mind, I've already excused it.
But he's 21.
What are the issues? What are the issues that the younger cadets deal with? And
well,
I think this is
my
a
biggest
fair
issue, my biggest issue with this too, is like, oh, well, this is StarFleet Academy. These are the best of the best, but these are fucking idiots. They don't have to be idiots. Why are you doing idiots?
Yeah.
That's one of my
they need to
biggest
swallow
this
combat
one
is.
yeah.
Okay. And then it goes to no pepperoni. He won't eat pepperoni. I'm like, Jaden, you're pissing me off, man. It's not even real pepperoni. Thankfully, Caleb said it's not even real pig. It's replicated pepperoni. But he's like, I won't eat anything that's been killed or something like that.
That he hasn't killed.
That he hasn't killed. Okay, that makes sense.
So he better not eat meat at all.
No, he eats the entrail soup at the end.
But he didn't kill it. But he earned it at the end.
But he's a warrior. Yeah.
So only that one time.
You're allowed that. Klingons with straight teeth as they laugh. It makes them look like Rastafarians. I don't like the way they sanitize the Klingons. So I guess it's the 32nd century. They fixed their teeth.
Not eyes, but teeth.
Right.
They should have looked like Battlefield Earth.
Yes, I agree.
They should look like that.
You gonna bring up Battlefield Earth, Joe? Joe, which is better?
Battlefield Earth.
What? Joe,
because this is 8
we can
episodes.
Get that license for like what was it?
Because this is like what, 8 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So this is like 8 hours. I'd rather fucking watch Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth
this guy agrees.
Battlefield Earth has a castle. Star Trek doesn't have a castle.
Yeah. All right. So the 8 remaining houses are on board this Klingon ship. This is a crisis. This ship, apparently exploded.
Yeah,
mechanical failure, and a bunch of people died on there.
Maybe his family.
Simultaneously, they explain how the Klingon Empire is in shambles and this ship. I'm like, choose one so that I don't have to rewind this shit, because basically the dilithium on Kronos and other worlds exploded
and
in the
fleet,
burn.
and billions
and
are
the
dead.
Fleet. Billions of Klingons perish, and by the way, Jaden is the only Klingon cadet in Starfleet, period. That doesn't mean that there's not some Klingons still left in maybe officer positions somewhere. Their number are probably very few, but he's the only new cadet.
Yeah, and if you don't consider any of the Jem'Hadar, half.
Yeah. So we have so we go to Cryos Prime 16 months ago, and he's all about herbs and healing, and that's fine. And his father, tolerates that. He's like, they have their place, but they will not serve you if you're dead, And so at least they get the writing on the Klingons right. And Jaden kind of reflects that my brother is the only one that understands him, but it's kind of done awkwardly. I get it. Klingons do poetry, and I think he's doing poetry here when he's talking about his brother and how his brother understands him. But, we move on to... the rest, they drop a line that the rest of the Klingon Empire is uninhabitable. I hate it. It's just that hand waving, there's no complexity. It's just their shit is fucked. We need a new planet.
It's not supposed to be
because they write it that way.
Because it's not Trek.
It's like the Klingons by now would have already come up with a solution. They're not fucking stupid.
But they all die. If billions of them all died,
Stop defending the show.
I'm not defending the show. I think I despise that I had to figure out that all of the Klingons are dead in this fucking TV show.
That's what I despise.
But if there's only 50 Klingons left, then I don't expect them.
I don't know if there's 50. In the shot, but there's
I
get your point.
Out of billions, there's closer to 50 than billions.
Yeah, I don't like the 32nd century. I don't want to be here. I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
and you're telling me that the Klingons are all died out? Well, there's no reason for me to be here. Fuck that. I'm out.
Yeah.
So then we go back to the classroom where they're like, hey, what topic should we debate? What about this? What about that?
Well, all these people that just died on TV.
No, it's too. We can't be talking about that. It's too soon.
It's too topical.
Jaden's like, why not? Well, let's talk about it because they're gonna be talking about it out there. Why not in here?
And then, to everyone's surprise, it turns out that Jaden is opposed to the act of charity and aid from the Federation. And no one really knows. At this point, he's not explaining why, and so there's all this forced conflict between Mir and him, where even Mir's like, hey, if you want, I'll help you with the debate type thing.
I don't need help.
Yeah. I'm not your brother, and I'm not your friend, I'm not your guy, dude. I'm not your dude guy. And then they have this it's really intense, the conflict between the two of them. I totally bought it.
Yeah.
The whole time that they were
I was
fighting.
like, oh man, are they gonna be best friends again?
Yeah.
Find out next week.
Yeah. And then Mir is so mopey that the what's his name?
Cardigan man.
Cardigan bitch?
Yes. Yeah.
The Cardigan bitch goes in there and teaches Jaden how to do Lamaze, which is really important for when you're...
ABCs in Spanish. B, C.
B, C, D.
And then this guy starts to rub his boobs.
And he's like, get off of me.
Well, it's so his hands are there, and then he looks down, and it's like, bro, you don't... when you're teaching your other bro how to do...
oh, nice pecs, bro.
Yeah, these are... Sweet boobs.
We get the scene with the Chancellor meeting the leader, the de facto leader of the Klingons, who the Klingons probably look up to. And, more of the same. They're too proud
There's
to
sexy
take
time.
There was a little sexy
She
time.
put on the music, the fire, the record was playing.
Forehead is ripped for her pleasure.
Is that old blood one? Oh, yeah.
They don't have time for that, so then they go to... I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
He basically breaks it down to, we only have our traditions left. And I buy it. We can't accept the charity of Federation. That seems like the type of, ignorance of the Klingons that would work, and they're true to themselves. Sure. So she laments this, and she's like, no, we got to solve this. It's going to orphan my cadet, and then I don't know, this guy gets super interested that there's a Klingon cadet, and then he'll look into it for them, but it makes sense. He cares about another Klingon. But I just don't, they push the conflict between Jaden and Caleb too much. Jaden gets into a fight with him in the middle of the debate. They're debating. They get very, very passionate. But Caleb isn't passionate about his side of the argument. He wants the Klingons to I think he agrees with Jaden. Do you think it's because Caleb believes so strongly in his argument, or is he just acting as that particular side of the debate for the negative?
I think it's ultimately the right and moral thing to do. They're just going about it in totally the wrong way. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like Caleb's like, I don't want there to be the extinction of this incredibly important group of people, and so he's passionate about that, but he's also pig-headed like the rest of the Federation, and like, here, just take it. And there's like, you can't just say just take it. Like, you clearly don't understand these people that you should clearly understand after hundreds and hundreds of fucking years interacting with them. It took the Vulcans like a week to realize you have to shoot them first. Like, right? The Vulcan hello, they figured out the second time they ever fucking met.
Yeah, they have to shoot them.
The second goddamn time. Mm-hmm. And the Federation still don't know what the fuck they're doing. Who's writing this shit?
All the information was burned in the Big Burn, and the brains were burned in the Big Burn.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, okay.
The brains were burned in the burn.
Oh, you're right.
I like that. Okay, so then we get that debate, and then we get the flashback of his family. His father misses the shot. I covered this already, but basically, he thinks it's one way. They abandon him, and they don't care about him. But it really, the Jem'Hadar makes him see that they abandoned him, and they do care about him. They abandoned him, but they do care about him.
So he could seek out his own path.
So he can seek his own path. So
because rage helps the Klingon.
And then
he would have never missed.
The idea is good on paper. You're gonna do battle with words, not weapons. Okay. Then he goes back up there. He gives his impassioned speech, but it doesn't make sense. Are you doing the speech? Why isn't Caleb also on stage? It's just you on stage.
It's not a debate.
It's not a debate. I think he's just doing a speech, and it's more for let's solve the actual Klingon problem. So then he takes his solution that he thought of, and he takes it to the Chancellor, and the Chancellor and the leader of the Federation, the guy from the Mummy, think it's a good idea.
Yeah, they look at him and go, say that again.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
And so then he is allowed to go beam on the bridge. So we get our first cadet on the bridge here, and I like that it's Jaden because he came up with a good idea.
Fake.
And they pompously, the Federation opens the hailing channels, is like, you're invading our space, get the fuck out of here, you're here illegally, and this and that. And she's smiling, and so the Klingon leader also kind of picks up on it, and he's like, no, we're going to fight you.
I would have loved it so much more if he's like, oh, really? All right, photon torpedoes, 40 of
Walk
them,
on.
and it's just
she's like, wait.
yeah. No.
But because they fucked before and they've had
But the
Klingon on old lady
the other
sex,
ships don't know, so they would have been firing.
he sent a signal, Joe.
Everyone-
He sent a signal.
I can't.
Everyone, I had sex with this lady, and she is
They
good
still would
people.
be like, "What? No."
Yeah,
No.
because that does go against everything that's in Klingon. Wait, this is
Yeah,
a fake fight? Then
exactly.
that's even worse than charity.
Exactly. It's like, wait, you want to give me for this for
I
charity?
totally
and we're
get
gonna
it.
rake
I
this
totally
fight?
get it. Yes.
Where's the honor?
That's why I'm not up at 8, 9, 10.
She
because
spaced Jake
there's
Paul.
problems with this solution for sure. And you can make that argument all day for sure, and you should make that argument.
Not for this show, no.
But the thing
done.
is, I will also say that if the Klingons are this desperate and they really have no plan and they have no fucking choice, it's nonsensical because they can continue their fleet on a journey and find another fucking planet. The Star Trek universe is vast. The quadrants are vast. You don't need the Federation to find it for you. But we're going to excuse it, and so we could have this particular situation, and they say, okay, yeah, we'll fight, and so we'll fight you for it. And so they fight, and they warp in a bunch of ships here. They do some names. I hate the 32nd century ship designs. I see a stupid one. In particular, there's a last one that warps in. It looks like a fucking egg.
I saw that. I was like, wait,
What
did
is
they
this?
just bring that one from the dock? That was not complete.
And Joe, the worst part is when that one warps in, they say the last name of the last ship, and I'm like, oh, that must mean that it is called the USS Riker. I'm like, no. So the ship got named after Riker, and it has to be that one. This Riker. Yeah. Anyways, but the music plays, and I'm like, God, I love the music. And then they have a little mock fight. The Athena is such a stupid ship. I fucking hate the Athena.
Yeah,
Just
they get
flying
blasted.
saucer
What
gets
are
blasted.
shields at? 95%.
95%. So they
We
are firing
yield.
legitimately at
Exactly,
each
so-
other, but low power,
No,
so
but-
where they're not causing any damage. And it's hilarious because nobody's
The
really
Klingons-
rocking in their chair. They're just kind of
But the
you have to
Klingons
do
were at
this.
100% though.
No, they weren't, Joe. They understood what was going on. If the Klingons were at 100%, people would have died.
There would be mutiny.
I get it. You can make that argument, and we can have that debate.
You
that
should have
that's
killed
what-
one ship.
Yeah, but
We
then
don't
the
like that
Federation
ship. We don't like those guys over there. You kill all them.
destroy the USS Riker so they can make another one and a different design because I hate this design. So they mock battle and they claim the planet as spoils of war, and it's a happy ending because his parents are okay and they're shown to have a new home, and he gets to eat his warrior stew, and it made me feel good. And I like this part. This parts of Star Trek could, so I can see a world and a universe. This episode being a 6 out of 10, slightly above average within the scale of Starfleet Academy. But what I'm trying to do, it's difficult. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 10 because it's like I don't know.
Grading on a curve of a curve.
Grading on a curve of a curve, sure. But yeah, and then we get at the very end, Caleb does this story to relate it to him. It's like, bro, nobody gives a fuck. Stop relating everything to you. Not everything is about you, bro. He
This
was
is
like,
his show.
I hoarded food too, or I hoarded food because my mother.
She's saving
My
pepper.
mother-
He's
They're
saving
saving
pepperoni.
food because they're both gonna try it together. But I don't know how this works.
Oh, right.
Like he's got a lot of rotten food. I don't know how these replicators work. Do the food
Does the
spoil?
food rot? Yeah,
Yes,
I
it
think
does.
So.
Okay, so he's got a whole bunch of tin cans underneath his bed that are fucking growing mold.
Gross.
He can also just walk up to the. It's supposed to be like post scarcity, and so he could just be like, "Hey, replicator, make me some pepperoni," and then hand
He
his
just
mom-
needs to He just needs to save the programs of
Like,
the various
I
dishes.
get it.
And he can
I
make
get
it when
the
she shows
sentiment.
up. But they're planting the seed for that scene where he finds his mother, and then they sit at
Here,
the
this
table
is
and
for
they
you.
eat all.
Oh shit! Close it! Close it! Close
And then his
it!
mother dies from food poisoning, and Caleb is blamed
This
and
is
goes
what we
to
call
jail.
pepperoni.
I'm not going to jail.
Pepperoni
All
smells like ass.
The pepperoni smells like ass. And on next week's episode, we have
Another
the
one.
hologram.
the hologram or all girls episode because it
There's
could
got to be a girls.
It could be
episode.
Genesis and the hologram. Go
Yeah.
have their own thing.
Genesis is a bright spot. I don't mind Genesis, but I don't like any of the other ones. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching and for going on this misery journey with us. We will see if Joe's storied 1 out of 10s continue, and
It will.
And me and Alex will try to be fair to the series every episode.
My life is
I
so
am being
easy when
fair.
I to be honest.
I am 100%.
Right.
Because this is truly what I believe. I think it's a below average episode.
Yeah, don't watch this. I'm being honest.
And we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.